Alright, so today what we are talking about is on page 169. We are looking at circles. Y'all know what a circle is. It's a ball. Well, that's a spear, but you know, a circle is a circle. You're smart enough to know what that is. Obviously, it has to be in one plane, and there is a thing called a center. So the center is, as you can expect, the thing in the middle. The circle is the black part around the center. So circumference is the distance around this black part right here. Think of this as you have ribbon and you're putting it around something circular, right? That's how much ribbon you will need. That would be the circumference, all right? Then it says a line segment through the center of the circle with endpoints on the circle is called a diameter. So if we draw that, what that would be is just starting anywhere on the circle. I can start here, here, here. It does not matter. So I'm going to start right here. It has to go through the center, which is this black point. And then it has to touch the other side. So this right here is called the diameter. This right here is called the diameter. So I'll put a D right here so that kind of reminds you. All right? Now, the other part of it is called a radius, and that says a line segment with one endpoint on the center, which is that black point that was right here, and has to touch the other side of the circle. So again, I can start here and go to here, go over here. It doesn't matter. So I'm going to start here and go there. And then I'll put a little R here because that's our radius. Okay? So, diameter all the way across the circle, and it goes through the middle. Radius starts at the middle and goes to any side of the circle. All right? So, circumference obviously is round, and then the center is in the middle. Draw and label the diameter and the radius. So we got that. Center was in the middle. Circumference is around. Then it says, what is the relationship between the length of the diameter and the length of the radius? So think about that. If you look at this line and you look at this line, what do you notice about them? Think about it. This line, how much of this line do you think the radius represents? Half. So we could write this as the radius equals half the diameter, or 2 times the radius equals the diameter. Okay, so pause it or write this down. You are going to need to know that for what we're doing today. Okay? All right, so now we are on page 171. I need you in your My Notes section to write down these two things. This represents circumference. So the circumference of a circle, both these formulas are saying the exact same thing. So it's just whatever makes more sense to you. This says 2 times pi times the radius. Or, like we just talked about, circumference equals pi times the diameter, because 2 times the radius equals the diameter, or vice versa. The diameter is 2 radii. Okay? So, one of the circular gardens Rose wants to make is a diameter of 6 feet. Use the circumference formula to find the amount of decorative fencing that Rose needs to enclose the garden. Use 3 1400ths or 22/7 for pi. Show your work. Tell which value you use for pi. So, it does not matter which one of these you use. So, let's write that down. We have C equals, I'm going to just use this second one right now just because it says diameter is 6 feet. It says diameter is 6 feet. Okay? So, I'm going to also use 3 1400ths. So, I'm going to put C equals, let's write which one I'm using first, pi times D. And that means that I'm going to use 3 1400ths, and I'm going to multiply that by 6. So what is 3 1400ths times 6? 18 and 84 hundredths. And does this represent feet? Does it represent unicorns? Does it represent horses? Does it represent inches? What does it represent? Feet. So our circumference of Rose's garden is 18 8400 feet. That's the nice thing about circumference. Once you do all the multiplication, you're done. Okay? So same thing. Decorative fencing is sold in packages of 12-foot sections. How many packages must Rose buy to enclose this whole garden? So think about it. 12-foot sections. You have 18 8400 feet. So would 12 feet be enough to cover that? Yes or no? No. So I need 12 feet, which is one section. How much would be two sections? 24 feet. Excuse me. So, would 24 feet be enough to cover this? Yes. So we would need 24 feet or two sections. Okay? You see how we did that? Because one is not enough, because it's only 12 feet, and we need 18 and 8400 feet. All right. Looking now at page 172. Find the circumference of each circle as expressed by the decimal. So again, our circumference equals 2 times pi times d, or, I'm sorry, that's times r. I'm so sorry. Or pi times d. All right, so in this one, is 14 the diameter or is 14 the radius? Is 14 the diameter or is 14 the radius? It is the diameter. So let's use the second equation that I have written. So let's again use 3 and 1400ths, and we're just timesing it by 14. 3 and 1400ths times 14. What's that give you? 43 and 9600ths centimeters. All I did was multiply the two numbers. All right. For this one, does 3 inches represent the radius or the diameter? The radius or the diameter? The radius. So we're going to use this first equation. So we're going to do 2 times, once again, 3 and 1400ths times 3. 2 times 3 and 1400ths times 3. That gives me 18 and 8400ths inches. Okay? Why don't you pause the video and try and do C and D. Pause the video and try and do C and D. Welcome back. All right, so for this one, we should have done 2 times 3 and 1400ths times 8, which gives me 50 and 2400ths feet. All right, this should have been 3 and 1400ths times 25, which was 78 and 5/10 meters. All right, that's all you are doing. You are taking it and you're multiplying. Let's do one last one. Find the circumference of a dog pen that has a radius of 35 meters, and they want us to use 22 sevenths for pi. All right, so which one are we going to use? The first one or the second one? First one. So 2 times 22 over 7 times 35. Now, we're going to do 2 times. Remember, 22/7, that's using our ABC button in our calculator, times 35. And you should have gotten 220 meters. Okay? All we are doing. All you are doing. All right? If you have any more questions, let Mr. Curry or I know. Good luck.